What you say, Scott? I see Scott's in the chat. I'm just chilling out near my little fire pit chimney here, and I am gonna smoke a cigar. I usually don't smoke cigars, but this one was sent to me by Mantidote. This is a homemade cigar, so I'm doing good, Scott. How's things up in Canada? I believe that's where you're from. A little cold. That's cool. Yeah, we had some chilly weather here, man. It wasn't too cold. I think it got down to about, I don't know, I think it got down to like 44 the other night. So right now it's probably 60s, I'm sure. You said George's video this morning, another great one. Yeah, I actually haven't seen it yet. Had a long day. I've got me a little Bailey's right here with I actually added a little whiskey to it. So cheers, my man. Cooking video you did look great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It was good, man. It was actually, you know, that whole, like I said, I pull the beef before the cube steak, before I cook it. Gets any of those little rubber band strings out of there. But this is my first fire of the season. I think it was time. Sipping on some, Jack Daniels. Nice. David Von Reddick says Christmas drink, Irish cream, eggnog, and whiskey. Yep. I wish I could figure out how to switch this camera around and show you guys the fire. Maybe I can just show you real quick. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that's what I got going on. I got a big chimney. I don't know if you guys know what a chimney is, but it's a big, if you can see it, if I go up, It's got the flame coming out of the top, but it gives off a lot of heat. I very rarely smoke cigars, but I figure I'd give it a shot. Like I said, this is a hand-rolled cigar that my guy on my panel and my buddy Mantidote Gene rolled this for me. You should have done a fire on the beach tonight. Soothes the soul. Well, I'm right across from the beach, so it's kind of... And in fact, to actually have a fire on our beach, you need a permit, believe it or not. I think the whole trick of smoking a cigar is getting it lit right. Gray D says, Tony, enjoy. Long ashes. Yep. I think once you get it lit, it smokes. But I'll tell you what, man, this is a good cigar. It's pretty mild. I don't like a real strong cigar. Again, I don't smoke cigars that often, but yeah, this is nice. Puff and turn. Yeah, this is nice, man. This has a good this has a really good taste to it. I told Man I would fire up the cigar he rolled me on my first night I have a fire, and tonight's the first night of a fire, so that's what I'm doing. It's been a long day, and it's time to relax. I just thought I'd throw it out live and see what everybody's doing tonight. Of course, tomorrow night we got our Saturday night live stream, so anybody who's watching now, man, join in tomorrow night. We actually start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our stream actually goes till about lately they've been going till 2:30, so that's about five and a half hours. When we hit midnight, we call it Saturday Night Live Stream After Dark. We get a few crazies in there, and but I allow everybody on the live stream to just come on in and actually join the panel. So anybody who's watching now, tomorrow night at 9, I know Scott, I think Scott had a little issue, some little volume issue last week with his phone, but everybody's welcome. Any women are welcome, of course, too, that's for sure. So we just kind of chat, have a drink, and talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about. I might have a special guest tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. I've I don't know, did anybody see the video I did? Yeah, I guess it was last night. Wow, time flies. With Jay Vincent. Jay Vincent is a high intensity training coach. It's kind of a different workout. It's not your typical workout. It's working till muscle failure and muscle fatigue. Something I've been doing for about a month now. And if you get a chance to look at the last video, check it out, because it's a great way to work out and not spend a lot of wasted time in the gym. You know, I have a home gym, so it's in my garage right behind me here. I've got a detached garage, so it's a separate building. But yeah, check out the video with Jay Vincent. He's a very smart guy, about 30 years old. He is an Under Armour model. He is a muscle tech athlete. His website is BioFit, and I left a description in the video, or a link to his website in the video from last night. So anybody watching this, check him out. Check out that video. It's a lot of good info. We all want to make ourselves better. You know, it's just a matter of getting off your ass and doing it. We got, I think that says KR Kogan. What's up, buddy? I don't always want to take for granted that's a dude, but I'm just going to, when I say buddy, it could be man or woman. Yeah, this is a good cigar, man. Wow. Again, man, my buddy Mantidote. His channel is Primal Man. So if you guys get a chance to check out Primal Man, check him out on YouTube. He's got some cool videos. He actually shows how he rolls these cigars. He makes coffee, so if you want to get some coffee from him. I had a little giveaway on my Instagram, and I sent out the winner some tactical soap today. It was Dane, California. So it says Ahmed Raza. Did I say it right? Can you say Ahmed Raza? I don't know what that means, but I just said it. Not much of a cigar smoker, so I'm not even sure if I'm smoking this thing right. But it is a nice cigar, that's for sure. Got a few people live right now. Looks like 4 people. I know if Scott's still in the chat. Scott's from Canada. And where's everybody else from if you're in the live chat right now? Can you say Ahmed Raza? Ahmed Raza. I'm not sure if that's a joke, or is that your name? We'll hit the spot tomorrow night right before the UFC fights air. Who's fighting tomorrow night? Well, if you're a UFC fan, I'm sure you're familiar with John Fitch. John Fitch is a friend of mine. He's a UFC legend, just fought his last fight on September 12th. In fact, eventually he'll be on, so anybody who's a UFC fan can chat with him about MMA and mixed martial arts. John's a good guy. I met him last year at the 21 convention. Real cool dude, very genuine. It's one thing about smoking a cigar. You gotta draw it a little harder than I'm not used to it. I'm used to smoking a pipe. So in fact, I'm gonna point you at the fire for a minute, and I'm gonna go grab my pipe. I'll be right back. That's some good old oak I just put in there. I'm going to put a piece of pine on it, and this will light this sucker right up. John is one of my faves, great guy, and love seeing him on George's channel. Tomorrow night fight is a small card. Jack Jermason and Marvin Vittori, Italian. Okay, cool. Yeah, John Fitch is a cool guy, very genuine dude. I was a little funny story is how I had met him. I was at 21 convention. I'm what's called a speaker liaison, speaker escort. So I escort speakers from the studio to the stage. And when I say studio, that's the studio where my brother does the interview. So I do that and basically escort the speakers, get them what they need, kind of a speaker liaison. So that's basically what I do there. And the first morning I was just welcoming people and asking them, you know, how they came to 21 convention, and saw this one guy sitting and he looked awfully familiar. And I saw those cauliflower ears and I'm like, how do I know this guy? And I said, you know, I'm Tony Bruno. And he said, yeah, good to meet you. I'm John. And I said, are you John Fitch by any chance? And he's like, yeah, I am. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we had some cool chats about MMA and UFC. So that was kind of neat to chat with him. You know, he's somebody that I think is a legend for sure. So it's kind of cool to meet, you know, somebody you've seen fight. I've paid money to watch him fight. Paid money to watch him fight a few times. I remember his probably one of his biggest fights when he fought George St. Pierre. I don't know if any of you guys remember that fight. If you don't, I think there's some videos on YouTube on how George St. Pierre and Fitch prepped for that fight. So. Yeah, I don't smoke cigars or pipes that often. You know, on Saturday night on the live stream, that's when I kind of smoke my pipe. So before that, probably about once every 2-3 weeks at the most. You know, but I think it's kind of relaxing. This is a, I don't know if you can see that. This is a, you can see that right there. This is a Chris Morgan Bones pipe that my brother gave me. This is absolutely my favorite pipe of all time. So what else is going on, everybody? There ain't a whole lot of everybody's. I mean, there's a couple, 2-3 people in the live chat. I can see the chat here on StreamYard. I can't see it live on YouTube. So, but I do see your chats. So we got very cool, nice. It was great to see him dive into podcasting now and connecting with you, George and others. That GSP fight, that's right, was a great, yeah, that was great. Is right, man. That was. I think that was one of the probably the God to me. That's one of the all-time most memorable fights in UFC. I remember the old Tito Ortiz and um, just a lot of the old guys that fought. I'm trying to think of what's his name. Randy. Oh God, what's his name from? I think he lives in Vegas. He was one of the older dudes. It's been so long since I've watched UFC. It kind of lost me. I think it kind of jumped the shark when everything was a pay-per-view, even a crappy card. You know. And the thing about UFC, like I talked to John about that, is that they don't pay the guys. I mean, they'll make millions and millions of dollars for these fights, but they don't pay the guys. You know, there's no big purse like professional boxing, where professional boxing, I mean, there could be a purse of, 20 million, $30 million. Some of these guys make 100 million, like Floyd Mayweather and those kind of fights. But the guys in the UFC don't make that kind of money. That's for sure. It's kind of a shame. So, and what John had said is they basically match up people. It's for the money. It's not who's actually ranked and who deserves the fight. It's kind of like Ronda Rousey. Now I liked her because she was a judo person, and that's what I've done. But when they actually put her against somebody that was an actual fighter, I think it was Holly Holmes, kicked the shit out of her. So that's when it ended. So for her, yep, Randy Couture. That's it, man. Yep, got it. Yep. One of my favorite UFC fighters used to be Anderson Silva, the Spider. I just thought the guy was he was unbeatable for such a long time. I remember he used to play with some of the guys, just sit there and kind of showboat a little. That was kind of cool. How about Forrest Griffin? Remember him? And I believe he came from the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, in fact, I'm positive that's where he came from. I think he won the Ultimate Fighter. So. Anti-movement was otherworldly. Yeah, yeah. So decent actor also. I think you're talking about Randy Couture, if I'm correct. Yeah. God, he was in. I'm trying to think of the movie he was in. I remember him going up. Oh, that's right. You're talking about Forrest Griffin against Silva back in the day in Philly. Okay, good. Good memory, man. Even though I love grappling, I still, to this day, I just still like stand up fighting. I like when the fights are on their feet and they're really throwing punches. To me, that's a little more exciting, you know. I don't know if anybody's ever been to like a jiu-jitsu tournament where it can be so boring. So the Expendables, that's it. That's it. You're right. But yeah, when somebody gets on the ground and they're locked up and and I'm not taking away from anybody's skill level for sure, but if you've ever been to a jiu-jitsu match, it's jiu-jitsu tournament, it's a little bit boring. I mean, to me, you know. That's the reason I like judo is because if you're not progressing on the ground in about, they give you about 20, 30 seconds, they stand you back up to fight. So, um, and then you're stand up throwing and, you know, but I'm not taking anything away from a submission. Because in judo, there's a bunch of different ways you can win with a big throw. That's called an ippon. Ippon means actually death. And then you can win by a submission, or you can actually win by a pin. Now, a pin is not a 3-second pin. You got to pin somebody for 30 seconds, and try that sometime. So, yeah, the striking has a better pace for sure. Yeah, it does, man. It's surprising to me how some guys can take those shots. I think it was Mike Tyson saying everybody's a tough guy until they get punched in the face, and that's the truth. I remember the first time that I got choked out purposely to see what it feels like to go out because you really got to relax. And it's funny. It's a funny feeling if you ever been choked out. You just kind of fade away real quick, and then and then you, and then there's Tremonte. Hey, buddy, how's it going, man? So when you get choked out, you got to kind of like everybody, whether it's judo or jujitsu or especially these grappling sports. You know, there's submissions and chokeholds, so you got to get used to training. You know, if somebody's got a chokehold on you, or even a submission, you know, but a choke, the first time you get choked out and go out, I think it feels like you were out for an hour, you know, because you kind of come back, you're out for maybe, you know, you can be out for maybe 5-10 seconds at the very most. So, and it is kind of fun to choke somebody out too. Most of the time they don't really get to that where somebody passes out, especially in like a match. That's just something that doesn't happen. You know, people are going to tap before they pass out, you know, when you feel yourself going. So luckily in all my tournaments, I have never been submitted or choked out. So I've been thrown, that's for sure, but I've never been submitted. So it's kind of cool. I've submitted a few people and I've choked out a few people, that's for sure. You know, anybody that does like a martial art or any kind of competition, you know, especially martial arts or anything like that, if you're training at something, I think it's a good idea to, for me, it was to test all my training against somebody else who has trained. And the fact that I started training later in life, when I say later in life, I was about 40 years old. And my first matches as a white belt were with black belts, because there's not too many 40-year-olds that are white belts. So, and I did pretty good. Let me stoke the fire here. Yeah, I've got about 5 people here. That's cool, man. I'm glad you're spending a little time with me. Cheers. Again, I'm just drinking it's a little Bailey's, and I put a little Evan Williams on the top. Not a not a big drinker. I mean, everybody's had their moments, but not a big drinker. I think enjoying a cocktail is awesome, but there is you know, I'm sure everybody. I mean, I'm 58, so I've had my nights of, we'll just say, excess. So, but it's not something I would, you know, I think everybody handles liquor and beer and all that differently. With me, you know, I'm sure I could pound, you know, half a dozen drinks or even more, but that's not what I want to do. That's for sure. So for me, having like one cocktail, and like I said, I'm drinking this, but I got one giant ice cube in there. Just a little trick for everybody. When you make ice cubes, this is how I make my ice cubes. I wanted bigger ice cubes. And then it dawned on me just to go ahead and fill up a muffin tin. So I've got a muffin tin that holds 12 muffins. And that's how I make my ice cubes. So I got some big round ice cubes that last a long time, especially if you don't want a drink that's watered down. Not really sure, too. I'm trying to figure out how, because I'm on my phone right now. Normally I stream from my computer, but I'm on my iPhone. And I'm not really sure on how to swap the camera on this StreamYard, because whoever's in here might want to look at the fire rather than looking at me. Obviously, I'm sitting near the fire. It's not too cold out here by any means. In fact, you can hear next door the air conditioner just went on. So for me, I've got the AC off. I think it's probably high 60s right now. So, but it was time for a fire. It's one of the things I really enjoy, sitting next to the fire. In fact, I'm gonna throw a couple more logs on the fire. If I've got a few people in the chat, you guys got any questions or anything you want to talk about, man, just throw them at me. We got Jonathan Mitchell. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Jonathan Mitchell. Jonathan, were you on our stream on Saturday night? I have a feeling that's you. Let me know if you were, Jonathan Mitchell, if you were on the stream Saturday night live with us. Let me put another log on the fire. So anybody knows, I'm burning some oak, and I got some pine boards too that I've thrown on there. All right, so Jonathan Mitchell, you were on the stream, man. I got a pretty good memory, don't I? How you doing tonight, bud? You're up in, if I'm correct, you're up in North Carolina, right? We got a stream going tomorrow night, so anybody who's watching wants to come on live and join the panel, man, jump on. You know, we have a nice time. We can talk about whatever you want. You want to kick back and have a drink, that's great too. But it's kind of a just kind of a good night for people to chill out, get some things off their chest. So Jonathan Mitchell says he's doing good. Good, man. Good, buddy. I'm glad you're doing good. All right, I'm going to fill my pipe up here. Here's my pipe. That's my Chris Morgan Bones. Probably see it again better against my white shirt. So, Jonathan, we go on at about 9 tomorrow night. We're on from 9 till whenever. So, you want to jump on and hang with the boys, man, that's cool. I've got some different tobacco here that my brother has given me so much tobacco over the years, and I'm more into the again, I'm not a pipe expert, but I guess you would call it aromatics. I'm more into the aromatics, and I don't know what this one is. You can see the fire is flaring up, but I don't know. It smells nice. Big old bag of whatever. So there's a few people watching, man. I want to see some questions. Come on, bust them out. talk about, my brother will say that a pipe will make you contemplate. And I'm kind of finding that out, that when you kind of puff on a pipe, it does make you, just kind of makes you think. If you're in the chat, man, say hi. Don't be bashful. You got a question or you want to talk about something, get something off your chest, man, throw it at me. I can tell you that the pipe goes good with the Baileys, that's for sure. Have you tried a pellet smoker? Just started myself and love it. Actually, I haven't. I think that's like a green egg or whatever you want to call it, if I'm correct. Actually, I haven't. I've got a Weber grill. That's what I have. Traeger, but it does the job. Okay. Yeah, I mean, those big green eggs, man, those things are expensive. I've seen those things. Jesus. I think some of them are a couple $1,000, but, I guess they hold the heat is the idea, Traeger. I guess that's a brand of, those big green eggs and whatever you want to call them, pellet smoker. You can grill on those. You can smoke on those. Jonathan Mitchell says, I'll be on tomorrow between 9:17 p.m. and 11 p.m. Good for you, man. Yeah, good. Anybody that hasn't seen the Saturday night live stream, man, I encourage you to come and join us. We start at 9. We like to start a little late, and man, we just go till whenever. So I got my regular boys, my 2 regular panel guys, which are Gonzo and Chris Warren. So check out his channel. It's called Gonzo School. Yeah, definitely check out Gonzo's channel. Gonzo's an incredible artist, man, and he has some pretty good stuff. And he really stays on today's topics with his videos. So, but check out Gonzo School, and then check out Primal Man. Now, Man roasts his own coffee. He shows you how to roll a cigar, and he's got other, basically some, we'll call them some philosophy videos, some cool stuff. So, subscribe to their channels for sure, And then, I can, we'll call Anthony V. He's also a regular. I think Scott SWB, he's a regular. We want Scott to do something with his audio so he can jump on live tomorrow night. And of course, I don't want to forget about Tony 513, man. Tony513 has become a regular. Check out his channel, man. He has a pipe smoking channel, and I think he has some videos called Late Night Pipe. But check out Tony513. That's Tony513. Check out his channel for sure. He kind of smokes a pipe and contemplates and gives you some words of wisdom, which is cool. So Dave said some pork loin chops last night. Best I've ever had. Yeah, man, that sounds good. I actually did some I guess it's kind of like a pork rib. I'm not really sure what it is. I forget what the cut is, but it's a lot of meat on it. So it's not really a rib. It's like the end of the rib. I'm not sure what they call it. There's some rib bone in there, but they're super meaty. I'm not sure if it's like a Boston butt cut up or a pork loin shoulder or something cut up, but I put those in the crock pot before I went to work this morning, or when I came home, man, the house smelled just beautiful. Took those suckers out. They're actually sitting in there right now for me to eat. So had a couple earlier, so I only eat when I'm hungry. So Tony, you are from United States. Yes, I am, Jonathan Mitchell. I am in Florida. I've got a low battery. I'm gonna put a battery pack on my phone here real quick. So, anybody's got any lockdown stories, man? I know, because down here in Florida, here we don't do that whole lockdown thing like they do in the rest of the country. Jonathan Mitchell says Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay. Yep. Yep. We remember him and we know him well, don't we? Going to invent a perfume for women that smells like barbecue. Nice. Yeah. Barbecue is awesome. In Florida, actually, we have some pretty good barbecue places around here. I had some brisket about 2 weeks ago at a local place, and it was one of those plates where you get 3 different things. So I had smoked turkey, pork, and brisket. And I can tell you, when I had the brisket, I just wish I had three of the briskets instead of the smoked pork and the turkey. The brisket was that good. So something that I think brisket, when it's cooked right, can be just so good. I could eat mountains of it. Mountains. It's probably one of my favorite things. I mean, we all eat smoked, and barbecue pork, and that seems to be the biggest thing. Sometimes I don't know if you guys get tired of it, even though I have ribs tonight, and it's barbecue ribs that are waiting for me. I still like that brisket. Pork is good, but there's something about the beef, man. Something about the beef. The fire is just burning beautifully here. Let me spin you around and take a look. I don't know if you can see that. It's in a chimney. The chimney is nice, unlike an open fire pit. This really throws off some heat. So when it gets real cold here, and real cold is relative. Real cold to me is when it's in the 40s. That's real cold to me. But yeah, there's the fire. Yeah, the chimney throws off some great heat. Dave said, made my first brisket on the smoker and it turned out awesome. Yeah, I'll bet it did. How long did you smoke that for, Dave? I'm curious. I don't have a smoker, so um, it's funny too because brisket was on sale about 3 weeks ago and it was ridiculously cheap at my local supermarket. It was about, I don't know, they had pieces of brisket that I thinking, how can I even get them in my freezer? They were that big, but they were pieces that were regularly $120. No, they were big. I mean, they were big. So, and they were going for like 25, $30. I want to say, they were like $1.50 a pound. That $1.50, $2 a pound. I mean, these things were massive. It looks like, so I kept looking at the pieces of meat and I couldn't, I'm like, what am I going to do if I buy one? Am I going to hack it up? But I think with the brisket, you want to cook that thing in one big giant slab. So I know you can slow cook it in the oven. So Jonathan Mitchell says, Dr. Anthony Fauci want to be with us tomorrow night. Well, I have a feeling he might show up. I have the biggest feeling that he might show up tomorrow night. Okay, Dave says he uses Butcher Box. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. We've got a local store in Florida. I don't know if you guys heard of Winn-Dixie. And Winn-Dixie, their slogan is the beef people. And I know when people were talking about meat shortages months back, and even some of the other local supermarkets called Publix here in Florida, where meat was sold out, man, Winn-Dixie had all the meat you wanted all the time. So, I love my Winn-Dixie. Jonathan Mitchell says, Tony from Tampa or Miami or Orlando. Actually, not. I am east of Orlando. I am on the coast, east coast of Florida. In fact, I'm so close to the ocean, I could walk you guys over there in about less than 2 minutes. So one of these days, I'll just do a live from the beach. There's a few people live right now, man. Tell me, you guys where you're from. I think Jonathan Mitchell is from North Carolina. Dave, where are you from, buddy? Just know that I have the streaming service on StreamYard, so my comments are delayed probably about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So if I was on YouTube Live, I like using the StreamYard. It just, it works better. I just, still not sure how I can flip this camera to my front-facing camera. Actually, the regular camera on the phone. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if you can do that. Let me throw a couple more logs on the fire. I'm just putting some super pine on here right now, so this thing's gonna pop like crazy. Yeah, that's gonna pop like crazy right now. South Beach, Oregon. Okay. No, you know what? It's funny you say that because I have never been, believe it or not, I have never been west of the Mississippi. Now, I've been west of the Mississippi in South America, Central America, but I've never been California or anything like that. So, South Beach, Oregon. Do you surf? Because I believe they have surf. So, miles from Newport, Oregon. Mile from Newport, Oregon. Okay. As you see, I just put some very flammable wood in there, that's for sure. Being a carpenter, I have no shortage of wood here. I just put some like killed dried pine in there, and you can hear it popping, but it creates a lot of light. So. Yeah, Oregon sounds cool. I'm actually thinking about moving sometime here in the next couple of years, but I want to move somewhere, say like, it's funny because places I've been looking, you probably wouldn't normally think of moving there, but I'm looking at, you know, a house with land, you know, maybe 30, 40 acres. And one of the places I've been looking at is Arkansas, believe it or not. Looks like a cool place. The only thing I haven't checked yet to see if Arkansas was a red state or a blue state. I'd like to go somewhere without state taxes. Because Florida doesn't have state taxes. I don't know if anybody knows that. Tony, have I seen some hurricanes down off of Florida? I sure have, man. Are you kidding? I have been here for 30 years. I have left the beach 2 times. I live on an island, so we live on a barrier island. Along the east coast of Florida, there's a barrier island. You have to cross a bridge, or we call them a causeway here. So you have to cross the causeway to actually get across to the beach side. And when a hurricane is coming, they have a mandatory evacuation, which when they say mandatory, that doesn't necessarily mean that you got to go. They're suggesting that you would go. And in 30 years, I have left twice. I think that the location we are in Florida, where I am right here, the hurricanes tend to skirt up the coast. Now, if you get one that's coming straight at Florida, That's kind of a different story, but that's rare for where we are. Things don't come off the Atlantic and head straight to Central Florida. They usually go south, work their way up, or go into the Gulf and work their way across the state. But yeah, I stay right here, shut up the house, man, and hang. That's it. You know, it's quite an experience to be in a hurricane. You know, even with you know, say even 70-mile-an-hour winds. When I say 70-mile-an-hour winds, I'm talking 70-mile-an-hour sustained winds with gusts maybe 90 miles an hour. And what people have to understand about hurricanes is there's an exponential difference between a 70-mile-an-hour wind and a 100-mile-an-hour wind. So let's say, how do I explain that? You know, the word exponential, what that means is a 70-mile-an-hour wind will do a lot of damage. But the damage that a 100-mile-an-hour wind will do is exponential compared to that. So it's not that it just goes up another, say, 50%. The damage that a 100-mile-an-hour wind can do is so much more severe than a 70-mile-an-hour wind. And that, again, when we're talking winds, we're talking sustained winds. You know, when you see these reports of hurricanes and they say, you know, the hurricane, the bands are 30 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour. Well, 50 miles an hour is a pretty strong wind, but in that zone, you can have gusts up to 75 miles an hour. And you can have tornadoes that spawn off the hurricanes, which are dangerous. I'll tell you a quick little story. It was the first time I ever left, and this was about, I'm going to say it's about 27 years ago. I went over, stayed at a buddy's on the mainland, and then I left super early in the morning, and I got just back on the island before they shut the bridges down, because of course nobody's out there during a storm. Pulled down my street, and I'm just across from the beach. And what happened is I saw this roof in my front yard, and I thought it was, I'm like, oh man, but it ended up being my neighbor's roof across the street, and my house was fine. So I have an old house built in 1956. So I'm pretty confident about its structure, and because once the hurricane starts, man, you don't leave. That's for sure. You're not going anywhere. So I think if you wanted to go somewhere, you know, I don't know. I've never left, you know, but it's actually kind of cool, like the day before a hurricane, because what happens is a lot of people, you know, head for the hills. They move inland and everybody takes off. So realistically, the population on this island, I'm going to guess and say it's probably maybe 3 to 5% of the people stay. But it's kind of cool driving around, and the lights are just flashing yellow. No red lights or green lights, just flashing yellow. A couple businesses are open. I remember on one of the last ones, I went to a pizza place and got 6 calzones. So, and one thing is for sure, the power is going to leave. The power is going to leave. So you kind of get that. The power jumping on and off all night long until the wind really starts picking up. And then it'll go off, it will go on, the power will go off, the power will go on. And then all of a sudden, there's that big one. And then that's it. And then it's just pitch black. So, but I do have a generator, you know, for the morning. And so, but it's quite an experience. If you've never experienced a hurricane, it's pretty cool, actually. So, I'm not sure what kind of Dave is in Oregon. What I guess what weather phenomenons affect Oregon? I guess it would be, I don't think you guys get hurricanes that far north. I know you probably get earthquakes, but what weather phenomenons happen there? So, highly recommend visiting the Central Oregon coast before you decide where to move. It's beautiful here. It does rain a lot. Yeah, man, I hate rain. But that's why it's beautiful. Yeah, if it doesn't rain, it's, the land doesn't get watered. And so I ride an Indian Scout. Okay, cool. And it's gorgeous. All right, cool. I actually have some friends in California that I do want to visit. I don't know if I want to visit them right now in California and kind of maybe take a trip up the whole coast kind of thing. I have one buddy who's in Flagstaff, Arizona, so a real good friend of mine. So I'd like to go out and visit him sometime this winter. So, I'm sure there's all sorts of weird travel restrictions right now, which is a real pain in the ass. But put some more wood on the fire. That's my chimney. I've got a lot of wood scraps from my work, and that's what I use to burn. I don't know if you can even see that, but that's it's just like a piece of kind of 1x2. It's all pine. The yellow pine burns better, especially the dried. It doesn't pop as much. This stuff that I'm putting in now is going to pop like crazy. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't. It's a big old 2x8 pine. Got a few more people in the chat. Whoever's in, man, say hi. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if I know you. This is just a little fireside chat, impromptu. I just came out to have my first fire of the season. I thought I'd share it with all my buddies. So Dave says tsunamis, but last one was 20 years ago. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's pretty frightening. We actually have across the street, we've got signs about tsunamis and, where to go and, what to do. I don't think there's a whole hell of a lot you can do here. I'm 10 feet above sea level, so if a tsunami comes, I'm pretty much toast. So. I remember probably 20 years ago, and I think it was Daytona Beach. People were sitting on the beach, and I want to say maybe it was like 5 or 10 miles, but this wave came in and like washed people all over the beach. I want to say it was Daytona Beach and like New Smyrna Beach, and just washed people all over the beach. And I'm going to say that was probably 25 years ago. And I remember that it was on the news. So people were just sitting on the beach on a regular day, and this big old wave, I don't know if you want to call it a rogue wave. So, but it just kind of wiped everybody all over the beach. But that was probably 20. In fact, I'm going to research that and search for Florida tidal wave. But I think it was what you call a rogue wave. So it washed a lot of people. Super gnome. What's up, buddy? Nice fire. It's going good, man. Yeah, I got a cool fire. Here, take a look, man. That's my chimney. I said about the chimney is really cool because it's throws off a lot of heat. So even on like real cold nights, when again, you know, cold is relative. I don't know about you guys, but you know, for me, you know, in the high 60s right now, this is a little chilly for me. So that's why I'm sitting out here. I've been dying to start a fire. You know, the coldest we had was about, let me see, what is it? I'm going to say about 3-4 nights ago we had, I think it got down to about 43. So the high for the day was in the 50s. So when you're not used to it, that's chilly. But for me, cold is, you know, when it gets in the 40s. So, but one of the most fun things I like to do is to, when I get home from work, is to fire up the fire here, and then I've got a I don't know, you probably can't even see that right there, but you really can't even see it. Maybe you can. Yeah, that's my house. But right there, I've got a full outdoor bathroom. It's got a shower. It's open. It's got a roof on it, but it's open on the triangles, which would be like off the shed roof. So, but there's a toilet, a pedestal sink, and a shower with a giant rain head. In fact, you know, some of my videos, my trimming videos, I do in my outdoor shower. So, Paul Galvin says, super windy here in Los Angeles. Can't enjoy a pipe. Hope you're having a good evening. Yeah, I am, man. Yeah. Thanks, man. I'm having a good evening because I'm spending it with my people. My friends here on YouTube, man. It's cool. This is just impromptu. I'm like, let me go live and see what people are up to. I know lots of people, especially in like California and places like that, are in your, you know, you got those lockdowns. So it's gotta suck, man. You know, I get it. It's gotta. Oh, I can't imagine. You know, they do things a little different here in Florida. That's for sure. Have king titles here right now. Pretty spectacular. The ocean looks very angry. Okay, cool. King tide, sorry. Yeah. I don't have my glasses on. So I do wear reading glasses when there's low light. Um, yeah, king tide, that's cool, man. We have those here too. The super high tides. I know when we got the crazy moons, we get some bigger tides for sure. So yeah, the West Coast is a whole different story, man. That's a whole, you know, again, I've never been there. I've been the West Coast of Costa Rica. So, you know, had some great surf there for sure. Yeah, it's nice though. You know, you said the ocean looks angry, very angry. I kind of like that. You know, that's cool to see Mother Nature just shredding things. You know, that's the power. Man, that's one thing too, is the power of water. Jesus, wow. You know, the power of water can be crazy. It can move houses. It can move boulders. It'll rearrange the beach. You know. Said we got a few people. Hey, make sure tomorrow night, everybody, that join the. Any of you guys want to join the live panel? That's what I do on Saturday nights. Is put a StreamYard link That's what I'm streaming through right now, is StreamYard. I put a StreamYard link in the chat, and you can come on in the live panel. I can have up to 10 people. So you can come on the live panel, man, and chat it up. We go start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and go till whenever. So I'd love to meet some of you guys in person. I think that'd be cool. So I would really like to move out, but the place has been my home for my whole life. Hard to say goodbye, and considering that I'm one of the few Christian conservatives, it feels like I'm leaving my duty. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. You know. Yeah, I don't have any. I mean, my mom and dad are just south of me, but I don't have any really family ties. I mean, where I'm from is upstate New. Well, I guess you don't even call it upstate New York. I always call it upstate New York, but I'm from up the tri-state area, which is the New York, Vermont, Massachusetts tri-state area. So that's where I'm from, and not really too many family ties up there. There's a few, but you know, mom and dad are just south of me. So that's a good one, though. I'm one of the few Christian conservatives. It feels like I'm leaving my duty. Yeah. You know what? I want to ask, people in the chat. I don't know if anybody has seen my video that I did with Ivan Throne. It's probably been about 3 weeks. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ivan Throne, but I did a great conversation with Ivan. Ivan is a great friend of mine. He is an absolute, just a joy to be around. Somebody who's very positive. Um, if has anybody seen the video, you'll notice that, I don't know if you noticed, but Ivan is actually deaf. So when we did our podcast, he was reading the closed captions. But Ivan is a warrior. He is a actual ninja. He studied in Japan. He's an incredible martial artist. I think the proper term for him would be an executive coach. But yeah, check out Ivan Throne. IVANTHRONE. But I've got a great video, and I think every man or every woman should watch that video. If you like somebody who actually is definitely a student of history and a master of the English language, you will love Ivan. And his website is Ivan Throne. He has a business called Throne Dynamics. He gathers men together. So if you're interested, definitely check out Ivan's content. He's a big guy, but he's a guy that really does care about people. So, and cares about. Okay, Paul says I follow him on Instagram. Good, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Ivan's a good friend of mine. We've been friends for about. It was one of those guys to where when we had met, we've been close like brothers since the day we met. So, you know. Okay, he was recommended after. Oh, we got Pine. What's up, buddy? So, what's up, man? I'm just chilling, Pine. I'm actually just chilling and chatting with people. It's my first fire of the night, and I thought I would share it with people here. So, just having a little Bailey's with a little added whiskey just on the top, and smoking a pipe. So, but yeah, Ivan is a good guy, man. If you ever want to reach out to him, tell him that I sent you, or you have a question for him. So just reach out to Ivan and tell him I said I sent you. So, and we got my buddy Pine. He said he is officially moved in. Good for you, man. That's awesome. So Dave says we'll check out Ivan. Good, man. Dave, awesome. Yeah, you'll love Ivan Throne. So Anthony V, there he is, man. Yeah, I'm having fun tonight, Anthony. I'm just chilling for a little bit, man. Just threw on the just put the iPhone on um, the iPhone on the tripod and got my first fire of the night or of the year. There it is. And just chilling. That's it. Just seeing what everybody's up to. Not much. Just chilling. So yeah, Anthony, tomorrow night we go live, buddy, 9 o'clock. So, I think you jump in a little late, but I look forward to Saturday Night Live. I really do. I think the Saturday Night Live stream is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's funny because I think the first time, not sure, I think the first Saturday Night Live, I don't know if that was Halloween. I don't think it was Halloween. I don't remember. But so I think we've been doing it for about a month now. But anybody who's in here, don't forget yep, 6 p.m. your time, Anthony. That's right. But anybody who's watching right now, you want to join the live panel and just chat it up with the boys. If there's any ladies watching, you want to chat it up with the boys, and just chat it up about whatever we want to talk about. That's what we're here for. I kind of like the theme of last Saturday night, which was get it off your chest. So Saturday night is kind of a get it off your chest night. In other words, you got something to say, man, go ahead and say it. But I think it's cool that I can meet people that I haven't met before. But if you're camera shy, man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just jump on the live panel. Just throw it out there. Hell, I wouldn't have met Anthony Velasquez. I wouldn't have met Gonzo. I wouldn't have met Scott SWB, Tony 513. Man, Mantidote, And you will get a nickname if you come on. So just remember that. So we're going to chat with you for a while. Then you're going to get an official nickname. So I'm not going to say Anthony V's nickname right now. I'm not quite sure if we have one for him, but we kind of do. We kind of do. So, but Anthony Velasquez, yeah, we need to come up with a nickname for Anthony Velasquez. That's for sure. So I'm going to throw that past Gonzo and Man. So and see what they say. And I mean Chris Gonzo Warren, his YouTube channel is Gonzo School, so of course he got the nickname of Gonzo. Great guy, great artist. Mantidote, his channel is Primal Man. Go to his channel, man. Subscribe to Gonzo School and Primal Man. You guys just subscribe. So, yeah, you're right. You're right, Anthony Velasquez. You wouldn't have met Dr. Fauci. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel honored that we had him on. So, but yeah, check out, if you want to become a regular, and man, that's great. Again, we can have up to 10 people. We can swap them in, swap them out. But you're going to get a nickname, that's for sure. So I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work on a name for Anthony Velasquez. I'm going to work on a nickname for him. That's for sure. Not unless you got one already and that you haven't told us. And I got to tell you, Anthony, I put the clips. I put one of the clips from last Saturday nights, which is just hilarious to me. You're going to have to get me your email or some way I can communicate with you, man. Luckily, I have mine. Oh, okay. Yeah, you do. Yep, Pine has his nickname. Hell yeah. So, but yeah, Anthony V, we're going to have to figure out a way to communicate, man. Reach out to me. What you can do is tomorrow night is put me your email and your phone number in the private chat on StreamYard, because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but we do have a private chat. In other words, anybody who is on the live stream We have the live comments, and then we have what's called the private chat. So people on the live stream can chat. So Anthony, I want to do that with you too, because also, man, I want to send you something. I want to send you something. I did a little Instagram giveaway on the other day, and it's funny because I got a lot of private messages, but obviously people didn't read it that well. And I said, best comment will get some tactical soap. So I sent Dane from California. His handle on Instagram is Dane, DANE. I think it's DANE_California. But follow him, guys. But he got a nice package of tactical soap, the pheromone infused soap, sent to him today. So I said, best comment in the comment section on my tactical soap. Um, so, um, but yeah, Dane got the tactical soap gift, and his comment was, just so you guys know, which you got to get this comment. Now, it's a pheromone infused soap for men, so it attracts women. So the comment was, Christmas gift for my wife, with a wink. So you got to read into that a little. I caught it right off the bat. I don't know if anybody else did, but that was a great comment. And it was the only comment. So, but I did get a lot of DMs. So if anybody's watching that sent me a direct message, I appreciate that. But if you the reason I said read the whole post, read it all, is because I had what I wanted you. I had the talking about the tactical soap, but then at the bottom I said best comment after about 30 hashtags. Best comment in the comment section wins some tactical soap, and it was Dane, California. So I'm sure he's stoked. He'll have that in about 3 to 4 days. I sent that out today to him. So yeah. And on my channel here, I'm going to be doing some giveaways too. Maybe tomorrow night we'll do another tactical soap, and that's tacticalsoap.com. Check it out, guys. It's not just the fact that it's infused with pheromones, but it's all natural, great soap. Um, it's an old school style soap that's with high fat and lye soap, so you get that great foam up. You can shave with it. Again, they've got pheromone infused beard oil. He has the new cologne sticks. So there's 6 types of soap, 6 types of cologne sticks, and a beard oil. But again, it's pheromone infused. So, check it out. It's tacticalsoap.com. Scott Carr, good friend of mine, great guy. He got a great business that was built by a man, and it's products for men. So support those kind of businesses. So, so Anthony says, was kind of sad to hear say Florida may not, let me see what he says. Florida may not be all that anymore freedom wise. No, it's not that, man. It's not that it's not that. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's a bunch of dogs barking. Wow. But no, it's not that. Something's wrong with Florida. It's just that I'm living in a place right now to where, I've got neighbors, 30 feet that way, 30 feet that way, and I love my neighbors. They're all great friends of mine. That's not an issue. But sometimes you want to get to the point to where, I think I want a bigger space. I want open space, and I've got a spent 30 years here, and I think it's time for a change. I'd love to be sitting where I could shoot my AR-15 right off my back porch, man. There'd be nothing better than that. That's for sure. I think I'm at the point in the next year or two to, get the top dollar I can for my home and hit the road, man. That's it. I think I'm at the point where I want some land and I want some open space. So, you ever get tired of weed eaters and blowers and lawn mowers and, you know, just typical noise. I get a little, I want to say tired of it. And I don't get angry about it, but it's like I'd love to hear, just like I hear now, is the crickets. And, you know, I'd love to be able to, even though here there's not a whole lot of city around where I am, I can see the sky. But imagine, you know, being somewhere where you can see the open sky and see every star in the sky. You know, I think that would be cool. And take a few shots at him with your AR too. That'd be fun too. So. I'm going to put another log on the fire, and when I come back, I'm going to tell you about a guest I'm going to have on, I believe it's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday on a live stream, and you guys are going to like this, man. So I'm going to give whoever's on here and right now a little bit of a teaser on the guest that I'm going to have on. It's going to be either Tuesday or Wednesday night, probably shooting for Wednesday night. But let me throw a little log on the fire, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So what, let me see if there's any. You hate leaf blowers. Yeah, I kind of do. Um, it's just noise. I mean, I have nothing against anybody taking care of their property. In fact, I think that's great. I'm lucky that I got people that take care of their properties. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But you get to the point where noise is noise is noise. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So, um, right now it's beautiful out. You know, I got a fire going. Um, I mean, I'd love to be sitting somewhere up in the, you know, could you imagine having a house sitting in the center of like 30 acres? How cool would that be? You know, and that's kind of what I'm kind of looking for. So it's not that I want to be a recluse or anything like that, but I think you get to the point to where you're living around people. And again, I'm lucky and happy that I got great neighbors and great friends here. But I think it gets to the point to where, you know what, it's time to move on. And I think I'm kind of at that time right now. So especially, real estate and things like that here in the next, hopefully in the next year or two, it'll keep going up. So who knows what's going to happen. So I was going to tell you about the guest for, it's going to be Wednesday night live stream. It's probably going to be about 9 o'clock because he is from the West Coast. He's in California. And I'm going to I'm not going to say his name right now. You might know him, you might not. But he is an ex-Marine. That's number one. And thanks for his service for sure. He is a active police officer, and he is an editor. And I'm not going to give away his name yet, but he is an editor for Guns and Ammo magazine. So he's going to have some great stories. So I can't wait for that to happen. And he had graciously agreed to come on and talk, so I'm kind of stoked about that. But I'm not going to give away his name. So, any of you guys got questions about guns or, Marines or anything like that, man? Well, this is going to be the guy to talk to. And but I'll have all his info when I stream with him. So, if you find land here on Oregon coast, I'm not sure. Something will be your neighbor. Lots of them here. Black, is that BLK? Man, elk. I thought it said, I thought it said, sorry, man. I thought it said black will be your neighbor. It says elk will be your neighbor. Okay. All right. Maybe I should get my glasses. I'm like, what the? That's good, man. So that's funny. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I wonder how expensive is the land on Oregon coast, and that whole rainy thing is what bothers me, man. I just you know I'm from like I said, where I came from, man. It was like damn Thunderdome. You got 7 months out of the year with overcast, and that's just to me is just way too much, way too much. You know, I get freaked out if it rains more than 2 days in a row here. So. Dave said, haha. Yeah, maybe Dave, I need my glasses. Yeah. Arizona is the most fun, friendly state. Okay. Yeah, it can be, you know. Um, also, um, your your spectacles, old man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Pine, I'll see you later, man. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Appreciate it, man. So, um, so Anthony says your most Arizona is the most fun, friendly state. He meant gun friendly state. Yeah. Oh no. Did you mean fun or gun? Well, you said both. So yeah. Also Texas too. I don't know if you guys saw the stream from. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We had Michael Bunker on here. Michael Bunker is quite a personality, man. I was stoked to have him. I had met him through my buddy Mantidote Primal Man. And Michael Bunker is an off the grid guy, and it was so awesome to have him. Then we had Jack Donovan jump in the stream that night. This would be about 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Jack Donovan, The Way of Men, a more complete beast. Jack is a cool dude, but it was kind of cool to introduce those two guys, two authors who didn't know each other, So we brought together two guys that both write books, and they kind of got together, and they checked out each other's material, I'm sure. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to having Michael Bunker on again, man. I really, really liked him. Just a cool dude. So, and Saturday nights you never know who's going to drop in. So anybody who's watching tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's when we start. That's how I met Anthony Velasquez, man, in the chat. Yeah, he jumped on. So, and he's a regular now, man. He's part of it. So, and I love Anthony's. I love Anthony's demeanor. I love Anthony's. Um, I'll say Anthony's comedy. He's 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 uh, he's he's a funny guy, and I'm not saying that in a bad way by any means, but Anthony's a funny guy. He's got a great attitude, great personality, and I love having him on, man. He fits right in with the crew. So, but good guy, good guy. The only thing is he just needs to get an iPhone. That's all. So um, we have this thing about people who don't have iPhones. So, and if you do come on and you don't have an iPhone, just expect a little bit of ribbon because you're going to get it. So, and nothing against Androids, but they don't work like an iPhone. So, yeah, you're getting it right now. So, something about a pipe, man. It's one of these things that I've kind of gravitated to. I mean, you guys know my brother's the pipe guy of the century for sure. So, and again, I'm sure anybody who's in the chat here knows my brother. If not, follow my brother, George Bruno. Just go ahead and check out his channel. He's got a ton of subs, man. And just, you know, me and my brother chat every day. Believe it or not, we chat every day, sometimes twice a day. So, but it's, hell, I don't even know what time it is right now. I have no idea. But he's usually gone by, he usually hits the sack by 8:30. So, in fact, I think it was Halloween when I had him on the live stream. That was a little late for him. So, but yeah, wow, man, I've been on hour 41. Wow, I only planned on coming on about 15, 20 minutes. So, what do we got here? Gray D says, contemplation tool, the pipe. Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's funny you say that because I'm actually finding that out, that it is kind of like you kind of kick back and think, you know. You know, and it's 11 your time. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Let me stoke the fire here real quick. Yeah, I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked that everybody, you know, we've had a few people in here, and I appreciate the comments. Dave says, I was worried about the amount of rain here, but you can learn to thoroughly enjoying the sunny days. My second winter here and still love it. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, cool. The only problem I have with rain is that when I work, I have a construction business, and I have an open pickup truck. Sometimes that makes it a pain. So, but that's the only reason. Sometimes the rain, you know, for me, the best time it can rain is on a Sunday, or sometimes you want to relax, or you know, a Sunday morning when you want to try to sleep in, something like that, or a Saturday morning. Rain puts me to sleep, man. I don't know about you guys. I think the saying in Florida is that, you know, if it's not nice weather, just wait about 5 minutes and then it'll turn nice. That's kind of the truth. So, putting a little more wood on the fire. All right. "10 p.m. your time." Love the way Tony says. Hell, I can't read that. Oh, rain gone? Oregon. Well, that's like when we have Man on, because Man's from New Orleans. Now, I think there's a couple ways to see New Orleans. Say New Orleans. I think one way is Narlands, just like one word, Narlands. Another way is New Orleans or New Orleans or New Orleans. So there's quite a few ways to say New Orleans. So I always say New Orleans. So, and I think if you're from New Orleans, you probably say New Orleans or New Orleans. So I know one of the nights we had talked about like local culture, you know, and in Florida, I don't think there's a whole lot of we'll call it local. There is local history, but there's not a whole lot of native Floridians, you know. So other places in the country, there's people who are local and have lived there their whole life. In Florida, that's not the case. Not the case. So very few people. I know my neighbors across the street, they are true Floridians. And we're trying to, you know, I mean, I think maybe when I say a true Floridian, somebody who's born and raised here. So, you know, Nolans. Yeah. Can you hear that fire popping? Such a nice thing to sit back and hear that fire popping, man. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since I've been able to do this. I'm probably 6 feet away from the fire right now. So poppers, yeah, man, that's for sure. I just put some pine in there. Well, listen, man, I appreciate everybody who's joined in tonight. I'm gonna eat some dinner shortly. So everybody who's here in the chat right now, we got Paul. Christmas tree in the living room has been a nice thing to sit in front of lately. Yeah, man. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's cool. Um, yeah, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't get a Christmas tree, man. I live alone. I just don't see the point in it. Um, I do put a a laser out in front of the house that shoots the whole house. So much easier than setting up Christmas lights. I don't know if anybody has one of those lasers, but you set that thing out in front of the house and it just completely covers your house. It's got different settings. It's got, I think it's got 3 or 4 different colors. So it's pretty cool. And I actually like the way it kind of shoots through the front windows. And I don't know if anybody's ever used one of those lasers. I don't know what it's called. Um, Starlight beam or something like that, but it's pretty cool. They're cool, super convenient. Yeah, man, they are. They are super convenient. Yeah, you don't have to string anything. So, yeah, I love them. I love them. So, but that's about what I do for Christmas, man. Not a whole lot more than that. You know, I don't. You know, not that I'm a you know, a humbug on Christmas by any means, but I just don't see the point of putting up a Christmas tree in my house for myself. So, you know, plus, you know, a real live Christmas tree smells good. So, no, I do the whole Christmas light and old school with my dad every year. That's cool, man. Good for you. Cool. Cool. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think I like the Christmas spirit. I really do. I like the Christmas spirit for sure. You know, but again, if you're living by yourself, I don't know how many people are going to put up a Christmas tree by themselves unless they're having guests on Christmas. So, you know, but again, for me, just throwing out the laser just looks cool at on the house. You know, I've got a bright yellow house, so it looks extra cool. So, but, yeah, it's the time of the year. In fact, it's funny because this year, you know what? I haven't seen a whole lot of decorations yet, which is surprising. Maybe it's because of what's going on. You know, people aren't in the Christmas spirit. So, you know, and you know, what is Christmas all about, anyways? You know, it's really not about presents. It's not about, you know, I think we've all been conditioned to think that Christmas is a commercial kind of holiday, and Christmas is not a commercial holiday. I mean, it's the birth of Christ. That's what it is. So I think a lot of us need to recognize that for sure. But we've got a few people in the chat here. If anybody wants to say hi or say anything, I'm gonna shut it down here in about 5 minutes. Say hi in the comment section for sure. I'm gonna throw something on the fire here so you can see me, or maybe you don't want to see me, but you're going to. All right, should brighten up here in a second. There we go. Dave says, thanks for the chill evening. Needed it. Yeah, man. Enjoy the ribs. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad you were here, man. That's awesome. What does that say? No, the whole Christmas lights set up old school with my dad every year. Okay, maybe I missed that. I missed those comments. So, but yeah, now you can see me a little bit. So. But yeah, anybody who's watching right now, tomorrow night at 9, we do a live stream. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do put what's called the StreamYard link. You click on that link that's in the live chat. Click on that link and join the live panel. Now, you can use a avatar. You don't have to put your face up there if you don't want to, but I would appreciate, you know, I'd love to meet some of you guys who are in here. I think that would be cool. I've made a lot of friends doing this, so that's what it's all about is Saturday night live stream, man. Get it off your chest. So I think that's a great theme for Saturday night. It's not a griping session. It's not a bitching session. It's just, you know, sometimes right now maybe somebody doesn't have someone to talk to. So I'll try to make it tomorrow live. Cool. Looking forward to it. Awesome, Dave, man. That'd be great, man. Yeah. It's funny how when you chat with people and you see comments, and you always wonder who they are, or what they look like. And so we don't want anybody to be self-conscious or anything like that. So just go ahead and throw the camera on, man, and come on and chat. We got some great guys. We got again, we've got my main 2 regulars, and I'll say 3 regulars now. So we've got Gonzo. That's at Gonzo School. That's his YouTube. We got Mantidote, Primal Man. We just call him Man. Primal Man is his YouTube. We have Anthony Velasquez. And I'm not sure, Anthony, what your YouTube channel is. Anthony has, I think Anthony Velasquez has 4 million viewers on his YouTube channel. 4 million. So you all got to come and talk with Anthony Velasquez. We have Tony 513. We have God, I don't want to miss anybody. We have Scott SWB. We've got God. I'm hoping I'm not missing anybody. We've got Pine. We've got a lot of people that jump in the stream. So, and it's in and out. So, but yeah, come on and say your piece, or come on and join us for sure. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, is to create a great group of men, or men and women, and chat it up, have a great time. So, but Anthony Velasquez says tomorrow night. Yeah, man, tomorrow night. This is just I figure I'd relax with a few of the people. So appreciate you guys. I'm gonna end this thing. That's what it's about. And if you want to get something off your chest, man, tomorrow's the time. Just let it go. Let it go. You got some good guys you can talk to, and some guys that care about you. So that's for sure. We all need people like that right now, especially. You might not know me personally. Same thing with my brother, man. He appreciates all you guys. So. All right, cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining me, man. This was fun. I didn't expect to go this long, but I appreciate each and every one of you. So Dave, Anthony, Gray D, everybody who's been with me. I don't want to miss anybody. Anthony Velasquez, of course, Dave, Paul Galvin, Gray D. Yeah, all you guys that's been in the chat, man, appreciate it. So even, where is he at here? I'm going back. We got Pine was in here. I don't want to miss anybody. Don't want to miss anybody. Got one new comment. Hang on here. I missed that. Oh, okay. Cheers, Tony. Yeah, man. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Didn't even know I could put your comment up on the stream here until I touched it. I'm used to my laptop, so I'm on the iPhone now. But all right, cheers, everybody. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you all here. We'll see you tomorrow night.